The Nile has always organized the lives of Egyptians down to the smallest details. But in addition to being a life force, the river is synonymous with danger. And at the time of the Pharaohs, anything that represented a threat was turned into a deity. Kom Ombo is the house of Sobek, the god with the head of a crocodile. He is the protector of the Nile, but he is also a troublemaker who had to be appeased at all costs. At Kom Ombo, archaeologists found hundreds of crocodile mummies, proof of an ancient cult.
Quite a few crocodile remains were found in the necropolis. Some of them are huge, very important. The ancient Egyptians didn't deify or worship the whole species, just an individual crocodile, chosen according to specific criteria. And that crocodile was considered to be a living god. It was pampered and fed honey pastries. It was presented with crowns of flowers. It really was treated like a god. Then, when it died, it was mummified like a god. The Nile used to be full of crocodiles, and it was dangerous for Egyptians to bathe in it back then, given how many of them were lurking in its waters.
Today, there are hardly any crocodiles left on the banks of the Nile, but another animal continues to terrorize and command the respect of locals. This animal can be seen on numerous ancient carvings. It is the Cobra, and it acted as a bodyguard to the Pharaoh when it was in attack mode. Both now and then, the best way to spot a cobra is to go to a busy neighborhood and look for a snake charmer, or rather, a snake hunter. That is how Atef makes his living, like his father before him and his father's father before that. He captures unwanted snakes from houses or out in the fields and then trains them to entertain bystanders.
It's a very sought-after job, because these snakes end up in people's houses. As soon as people spot one, they call me. I'm the only snake charmer left around here. As soon as I catch them, I put them in a basket like this. They live in these baskets until they die. They die of natural causes. I don't kill them. I couldn't do that. Obviously, the first thing I do is remove their fangs. Then I put them in front of me like this to get them used to me. And then I start training them. It's very simple. If they try to escape, I catch hold of their tail and put them back in front of me until they get used to me and stop trying to escape. I was only bitten once when catching a snake. The bite completely paralyzed my finger, and I had to have surgery on it. My finger remained stuck in this position. I had an operation to straighten it out, and it went back to normal. It was a cobra that did that to me, one like this, the same species, but that one was more aggressive and very wild. Plus, it was much fatter.
No problem. That's one like this.
Wild animals weren't the only danger faced by the ancient Egyptians. The Nile is a capricious river. When the floodwaters got out of control, they destroyed everything in their wake. The temple of Kom Ombo still bears the scars.
The temple looks complete, but in actual fact, the front is missing. On this side, you have the outer wall, but there is only one door jamb. You have to imagine a door there and the outer wall built of mud bricks, which continued along there. It was carried away by the Nile. This is a blatant example of the violence of the Nile and its floodwaters. Of course, the Nile has a nourishing side to it, but in the case of severe flooding, it can be very destructive and dangerous.
In times of heavy flooding, the Nile swept up and often destroyed everything in its midst. Sometimes the riverbed didn't return to its original level. It would change on a whim. To protect themselves from the river's worst extremes, the Egyptians would build mud brick walls. Karnak Temple, for example, is surrounded by a gigantic dike. Building it was a humongous task, which must have taken the Pharaohs' brickmakers several centuries to complete. You can see them here, with their tools in this bas-relief. To gain a better understanding of the techniques involved, we visit a modern-day brickmaker. Abdallah Saleem and his colleagues make bricks, and their methods haven't changed since the time of the Pharaohs.
The first stage is to mix earth, straw and water. Next, we pour the mixture into rectangular molds, line them up, and then leave them to dry in the sun. People grow up learning this profession, and when they die, someone else takes up the torch, and history repeats itself. We must protect our heritage. We make between 1,000 and 1,100 bricks a day. Look at these, for example. The first stage is finished. These are unfired bricks, and some people use them like this. But other people prefer fired bricks. It's up to individuals to choose what they want to build their house with. In our village, everybody uses unfired bricks because they are much better adapted to our climate. Fired bricks don't fare so well in very hot weather.